Hello YouTube, Rob the Young Codger here with the results of the Meerschaum coloring experiment. Let's get to it. This is the stummel, which was allowed to form a cake. Never really developed one. This is the stummel that had the bowl cleaned after use with the pipe cleaner. And this is the one that used the coloring bowl. There's not a real verdict, and I did call the experiment at this stage because while they did start to color, the pumps I was using were not doing the best job. These are kind of a pain to smoke, and I think a lot of the tars and oils, whatever, were, rather than being absorbed by the Meerschaum, condensed in the tube and never made their way back down into the stomach. This one colored the most, I think. However, it's a very thin bowl. I think a big factor is the amount of tobacco, not so much the size of the Meerschaum, the thinness of the thickness will matter, but not so much the capacity. Smaller capacity pipe won't necessarily help it color quickly. If anything, the opposite, I think. They all got a little bit splashed with the residue from the pump. But yeah, thin walls, you can see the coloring here. This one here, walls are about twice as thick. And colored. Some more significant coloring over here. Let's see where that penetrated. And then this one here with the coloring bowl, similar coloring over here. Collected a lot of residue in here underneath the bowl. So given time, I think this one would have colored the most because it would have had access to that residue that these two stummels wouldn't have. So there does seem to be a bit more color without the bowl. The Meerschaum seems to be what matters the most. And how much you smoke is really going to determine how much color your Meerschaum gets. Just the more you smoke it, the more it'll have to absorb and get that nice patina. I'm still going to use a coloring bowl for my Meerschaum smoke. I like the fact that it protects from rim charring, and I like the calabash effect that it presents. Guess it'll be a little bit slower, though maybe a bit more even of colorant for me. Let me know what you think about the experiment, anything you might have done differently, anything you've observed different, and until then, I'll see you next time.